We used Bangkok, Thailand as Saigon. Um, we had to change all the street signs. Everything had to be made Vietnamese. The outfits had to be different. The thing that really tied the city up was the fact that the traffic is on the other side of the street going in certain directions, like the difference between here and England, for example.
So in order to do that scene at the beginning of the movie, when all of these cars are all riding around and everything else, we have to change over from either it's the right side to the left side, or I don't remember. The steering wheel would have been on the right, it's now on the left. I can't remember which is which anymore. But it was the opposite. So when you see all these cars, we had to reset up the traffic in a city that's amazingly congested.
I mean, incredible traffic. And you'd see 5 people on a motorcycle. You'd see a family of 5 on a motorcycle. You'd see a mother, a father, 2 kids hanging on the back, and they'd have one up front. Amazing traffic jams.
We were shooting in an enormous intersection that actually 8 major streets lead into, going into a boulevard that goes down to the Royal Palace. We were doing a scene in which we had about 600 extras, 150 vehicles, many of which we had made. We closed all of the streets and the intersection, reversed the traffic, because in Thailand everybody drives on the left-hand side of the road, and we were finally making our shot, which had taken probably 2.5 hours to set up, for a shot that's going to last maybe 30 seconds on the screen. In the middle of it, the police all of a sudden snapped to attention and ushered us out of the camera positions, made all of our vehicles come off the boulevard, and sure enough, a royal procession. We had the prince with all of the police cars and the follow cars, and they all had to come by. We all had to get off the streets. Those of us who were wearing shorts were not allowed to be in this sight. And it took us an hour to regroup and get ready to make the shot again, and sure enough, one of the princesses came through. That happened 3 times. It's not the sort of thing that you expect.
You know, in the end, nobody's going to care. It's like you're spending a lot of time and effort because you're going to have to get that to be correct, and no one will care about it, but it's just in there.
I much prefer location shooting because, one, it allows me, selfishly, it allows me to go to travel and explore someplace I don't know, but also, quite frankly, it gives the movie a real verisimilitude. It just seems like it's actually taking place different from the artifice of a Hollywood studio. And sometimes it's nothing more than being able to look out the window and see the real thing behind you.
This is really funny. They put us in this great hotel, the Hilton Hotel, and I got my room, and it was right on a really busy street called Wireless Road in Bangkok. And you could hear every single tuk-tuk and car and motorcycle, and they don't have anywhere near, I mean, they basically make the motorcycles without mufflers there. You cannot imagine how loud this stuff, it's literally ear-shattering. And I got into my room, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was so loud and an expensive, beautiful hotel, and I thought, I'm not gonna fall asleep in this place for 4 weeks. So I went downstairs to the manager of the hotel, and I said, listen, they said, oh, sir, we cannot put every, I said, yes, but I'm with the movie. And they said, oh, but sir, we cannot put every movie employee in the quiet part of the hotel. We would have no, I said, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. I'm the writer. And I said, the director is over on that quiet side, and I need to be over on that quiet side. In case he needs something from me, I need to be there. And what they did was, I just wanted to be on the same side of the hotel as those people. I don't know how they did this, but they put me in the next room. So every time Barry would need something, he'd like knock on the wall. I'd hear like a, so I was there for like, you know, he had like a rewrite idea any time of day or night. I would be so close there, but it actually turned out to be a good thing because I had questions of my own, and I knocked on his door or his wall also, and but I was, you know, I kind of I tried to get a quiet room, and I used him as a kind of, you know, I used him as an excuse for them to put me over there, and they really put me over there. I didn't really want to be next door to him, you know.
Now, here's the weather. We're going to go right to Roosevelt E. Roosevelt. Roosevelt, how's it going? Adrian, I'm with somebody. Don't even come here and bother me right now. Well, thanks, Roosevelt. Can't you give us a little weather? Not now, man. I'm on the balcony. I'm trying to score. Back off. Well, what's the weather like? You got a window? Open it. Thank you, Roosevelt. We'll have to go to someone else for the weather, I guess.
It must be the hottest place on earth. It had to be. It was at least 100. It was literally 121 degrees, something like that. Maybe 124.
It was hot. It was hot, very hot.
And that humidity that if you walk out of an air-conditioned building, you know, your glasses just fog up immediately.
And by the way, it really, the weather really helps the look of the movie. The movie looks like it's hot, and it looks like everybody's always sweating and consequently uncomfortable, and they're, you know, not everything was air conditioned, so there are fans blowing throughout, and it's just part of the overall verisimilitude of the movie. But it was, at times, it was blisteringly hot. But you know, you can get through it.
I fainted the first day. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. It was already 100.
You couldn't imagine it. You didn't even believe it. When it was happening, you think by a certain age, you know your body. You've grown up in New York. You've been in heat waves. All of a sudden, you're in Bangkok, and you're sweating in places you've never sweated before. You say, well, wait, this never opened up here and did this. That's an impossibility. You can't physically sweat there. And you know, behind the ear, I've never sweat. It was incredible. But in a strange way, you did get used to it.
First day I show up there, I was unaware of the sun in Thailand, and I arrived there, and everybody's hanging out at the pool. So I go to the pool, and I notice a girl's laying there topless. So naturally, I go next to her. And I'm there for about an hour or two talking to her, and not thinking anything of it. And I had never experienced sunburn like that in my life. And in fact, the first week I have to call my doctor to get, you know, to say, what do I put on this? I mean, I wound up with first-degree burns, and I am just beat red. I mean, and there was nothing as painful as getting into wardrobe, army wardrobe, and putting this stuff on. And I remember putting the boots on, and the pain that I was in for about the first week was brought on by myself totally, but quite excruciating.
And also, every now and then a rain would come. It would be like a monsoon. You'd be in the back of one of those tuk-tuks, and it would just open up, and you just laugh.
I loved it. I love the people over there. And there's something extremely intoxicating about it in a way, you know? When you go upriver on those little boats, and I forgot the name of them now, and you just see the land and the way it is. I mean, there's something really fascinating.